Well, moving into our next story, and this one is big, folks. There's been a lot of talk about World War III, a lot of talk about China and Taiwan, China themselves talking a lot about China and Taiwan. Well, the Chinese are saying they are ready to fight after massive drills around Taiwan. And they've also sent an animated video, which is kind of hilarious. And I'll show it to you because it's a really bad video. If you're going to send a video of like trying to show your force, it's not one that you throw out there. So communist China is ready to fight, supposedly. By the way, they've been saying this for years. I am a firm belief that I think probably by either 2025 or 2030, that we probably will see some sort of advance on Taiwan. And that's coming from a lot of people that know a hell of a lot more about China and their military than me. So I'm kind of getting my information from them on the back end of me doing all my research. But they are saying about 2025, 2030. The closest date I've heard, and this happened last year, was that we would see China invade Taiwan within 2 years. So you're talking within probably 2023 here, latest by middle 2024. They're doing these drills because of the president of Taiwan basically doing a bunch of rounds and meeting with Congress. Kevin McCarthy. Met with Kevin McCarthy, so China are all upset about it. So the U.S. adversary declared its readiness for war after it finished 3 days of large-scale military exercises around Taiwan on Monday. Taiwanese Defense Ministry said that it tracked 91 Chinese fighter jets. So the Chinese basically threw out their entire Air Force off its coast during the last day of its exercises after dozens of warplanes crossed the maritime median line of the Taiwan Strait on Sunday. Chinese state media said the warplanes were loaded with live ammunition. Oh, I don't know what that has to do with anything. Nobody would have guessed if they did or didn't. You could be lying the same way that you lied about the Chinese spy balloon. It's just a weather balloon. It's civilian. It's civilian. That Chinese balloon is civilian. And Joe Biden totally bought it. Oh, let's just let it fly all the way across, guys. It's okay. They're just taking weather. They're just taking readings. No, they're taking readings of our military installations, Joe. You don't have a clue what's going on, so you wait till it flies all the way over, gathers all its intelligence, and you blow it out of the sky. Well, during the exercises, China conducted simulated attacks on key targets in Taiwan, and the communist country's state-affiliated media showed an animated video, which we're going to see in one moment, created by the People's Liberation Army of an attack on Taiwan. So, look, we should take this seriously, but how can you with this video? This is the video. If you're on audio, you got to just come watch the video. It's so bad. By the way, I can't do it. By the way, hold on, can we go back just a second? Look where the blue lines are going. They're not even hitting. The missiles that are supposedly being shot aren't even hitting Taiwan. They're in the ocean. So now it's showing their military might here. It's showing their small navy that they have that they're trying to build up. You got a guy with binoculars looking off. This is not a show of force. I'm not intimidated by this one bit. But I guess we're all supposed to be with what China has. Look, it is a serious thing. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's not. I just think it's amazing that you could tell that the Chinese totally scrambled to put this together the last minute because they really didn't think that Kevin McCarthy would actually meet with the Taiwanese president. While the Taiwanese president is basically just doing travel, like a routine travel. But now they're just going to show us a bunch of footage of them flying jets and basically an animation that could be done, I don't know, by somebody 20 years ago in middle school. But we're supposed to be, all nervous and worried. So it should be taken seriously because you never know what the Chinese are going to do, especially with Xi, who's basically in for life now. What goes on with the Taiwanese and Chinese warships had a confrontation on Monday when a Taiwanese frigate warned the Chinese to avoid Taiwan's, basically their zone, their surrounding area. An audio of the incident reportedly revealed that the Chinese responded to Taiwan's warning by claiming the 24 nautical mile zone does not exist. Taiwan is an inalienable part of China. So they're still pushing this whole idea. For the longest time, I didn't really understand how Taiwan kind of even existed, but this even goes back to with like the nationalists as well as the communist Chinese back when Mao was trying to push this whole agenda back in like the 40s. So you had basically the nationalists and the Chinese party going at one another for basically the country. And so the nationalists ended up fleeing to Taiwan, and the Chinese Communist Party basically are the ones that took over. And so that extrapolates into today. I mean, I'm going over like 80 years of history in basically a sentence, but that's in a nutshell what's happening here. So the Chinese still feel like, well, we own you nationalists, we own you Taiwan, you're still a part of us. You can't be a self-governed body or people. And so that's where this is all coming from. And it's over an island, over something really tiny. That's like the United States trying to claim Catalina over, like, say you lost it, or people basically left and fled there, that you're gonna spend all your time and possibly a World War III over Catalina off the West Coast. Insane. The Chinese ship allegedly ended the conversation by saying the People's Republic of China is the sole legal representative of the whole of China. That's exactly what I just said, basically. Beijing's latest threatening actions come days after Taiwanese president met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. I'm not even going to bother trying to say his last name or his name in general. Was it like ing-wen? I'm probably mispronouncing that. You guys know I'm not great with names. Don't you judge me. All right. You try to say it then. It's tough. All right. I'm ad-libbing a lot of this stuff. Remember, there's preparation that goes into it, but I want to give you a real-time reaction and commentary a lot of this stuff. We're going to end off with a quote here. As the president, I represent our country in the world, whether it's a visit to allied countries or stopping through in the United States and interacting with our international friends. And not only has this been going on for years, it's the Taiwanese people's shared expectation. This comes from the president of Taiwan. But China used this as a pretext to start military drills, creating instability in the Taiwan Strait and region. This is not the attitude or a responsible major nation in this region. No, I absolutely agree. I mean, they're going to continue to go psycho. They're going to basically try to do anything they can. I mean, if you're going to do it, really would be the time under Joe Biden. I mean, you cannot get probably more of a weaker president than Joe Biden. So it's amazing how they're not pushing through with this. I mean, now, I'm not for it. I am not for it, but I'm just saying, if there was a time to do it, now would probably be the time. Our military numbers are extremely low. Our assets around the world are extremely low. You got Russia invading Ukraine. We're spending billions of dollars there. Our manufacturing's all over the place here in the United States. Our supply chain is still all over the place. I mean, right now, there's so much chaos going on that's kind of being thrown under the rug by the Biden administration. It's basically, they're not exposing the real story of what's happening to America right now, both inside and just globally. So, like I said, I'm surprised they haven't advanced on this, because now would be the time to do it. I'm not for it. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think that we should create World War III over Taiwan? We've asked this question before. Let's see what your responses are in the comment section. Again, it does support the channel immensely. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.